Testing, testing. 1, 2. Is this thing still pushing air? I can see the needle jumping on the console, so I have to assume someone out there is listening, even if it is just the wind in the ruins. This is Joe Henry. If you can hear me, you are one of the survivors of the third day. Welcome to the club. It is a small club, a terrified club, and the membership fees are higher than any of us ever expected to pay. I am sitting here in the dark, save for the dull amber glow of the equipment and a single flashlight I've taped to the side of the microphone stand. The building is shivering. It has been shivering for hours. It is not an earthquake, and it is not the wind. It is them. It has been 72 hours since the sky turned that impossible shade of bruised violet. I remember thinking it was beautiful for about 10 seconds before the first of the satellites fell out of the orbit. We all saw them, didn't we? Streaks of fire cutting across the afternoon sun like God was scratching out lines of a poem he didn't like anymore. Now there is nothing. I have spent the last 6 hours scanning every band, every frequency from the top of the dial to the bottom. Nothing but white noise. Nothing but the hiss of a dead universe. The GPS is gone, the internet is a memory, and the television stations are just flickering snow. We are back to the era of the vacuum tube and the copper wire, and even that is hanging by a thread. I am broadcasting on a backup generator that is coughing like it has got a chest full of gravel, and when that dies, I suppose Joe Henry goes quiet too. But for now, I am here. I am your voice in the dark. Let's talk about the sound. Are you hearing it where you are? I'm talking about that mechanical hum. It's not a roar, it's not a motor, it's something deeper. It's a vibration that you don't hear with your ears as much as you feel it in your marrow. It makes my molars ache. It makes the coffee in my mug ripple in perfect concentric circles even when the table is dead still. It's the sound of those tripods moving through the suburbs. I saw one through the reinforced glass of the studio's north window about an hour ago. It was stepping over the old water tower like it was a discarded tin can. They move with this fluid, terrifying grace, like something organic that was forced into a suit of silver armor. They don't walk so much as they glide, those 3 spindly legs stabbing into the earth with a rhythmic thud that I can feel in the soles of my feet. I watched it pass the shopping mall on 4th Street. You remember that mall, where we all used to spend our Saturdays buying things we didn't need? The tripod didn't even acknowledge it. It just swept a beam of pale green light across the parking lot, and wherever that light touched, the cars they didn't explode, they just sort of folded, like someone had stepped on an empty soda can. The metal groaned and collapsed, and then the light moved on. It's the indifference that gets me. They aren't shouting demands. They aren't asking for our leaders. They are just cleaning the house, and we are the dust under the rug. I got a call on the landline before the wires went down completely. It was a woman named Martha from over in Oak Crest. She was whispering so quiet I could barely hear her over the static. She said she was hiding in her crawl space with her 2 kids. She told me the hum was so loud in her house that the windows were cracking. She asked me if the army was coming. What am I supposed to say to Martha? I told her to stay low. I told her to keep the kids quiet. I lied to her. I told her I heard reports of a counter-offensive in the works. But we all saw what happened to the jets. They didn't even get close. They just fell out of the air like scorched moths. There is no cavalry, Martha. If you can still hear me, I hope you're still in that crawl space. I hope they just kept walking. The suburbs are a different world now. You think of the suburbs as the safest place on earth, right? White fences, manicured lawns, the smell of charcoal grills on a Sunday. Now it's a hunting ground. The silence between the mechanical hums is the worst part. You're sitting there, holding your breath, listening to the house creak, and then you hear it. That metallic shriek. It sounds like 1,000 trumpets made of rusted iron all screaming at once. It's the sound they make before they move. It's a signal, or maybe it's a victory lap. I don't know. I don't think they care if we know. I spent most of day 2 trying to find news from the outside. I had this old shortwave radio my father gave me. I managed to catch a signal from a guy in London, or at least he said he was in London. He sounded like he was broadcasting from the bottom of a well. He said the fog was red, not the sunset but the actual air. He said people were just walking into the Thames to get away from the heat. Then the signal dissolved into that screeching static that sounds like a modem trying to dial into hell. I haven't heard a human voice on the airwaves since then. Just me. Just Joe Henry talking to the ghosts. Do you remember the first day? When we all thought it was a prank or some kind of elaborate movie stunt. I remember standing out in the parking lot with the rest of the station staff looking up at those silver slivers in the clouds. We were joking about it. Someone said they hoped the aliens liked classic rock because that's all we play. We laughed. We actually laughed. By sunset, the laughter was gone. By the time the first tripod stood up in the middle of the harbor, we weren't laughing anymore. We were running. I stayed. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a fool, or maybe I just didn't want to die in a traffic jam on the interstate. I've seen the photos from the drones before the feed's cut. Miles and miles of cars, bumper to bumper, all of them burned out or abandoned. People tried to run, but where do you go when the sky belongs to someone else? I'm looking at the monitors now. All black, all dead. It's funny, I used to complain about the flickering fluorescent light in the hallway. Now I'd give anything to see it flicker again. It's so dark out there. No street lights, no porch lights, no glow from the city. Just the stars, and they look colder than they used to. They look like they're watching us with a bored curiosity. The air in here is getting thin. I think the ventilation system finally gave up the ghost. It smells like ozone and scorched plastic. Every few minutes there's a localized vibration that knocks a few more CDs off the shelves. I've got a stack of greatest hits scattered across the floor. Queen, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, all that human genius. Just plastic scrap now. I wonder if they have music. Those things in the machines. I wonder if that hum is their version of a symphony. If it is, they have a very grim sense of harmony. If you're out there and you're listening, here's my advice for day 4. Don't use your car. The sound of the engine is like a dinner bell to them. Don't use your phone if by some miracle you still have a charge. Stay in the basements. Stay in the interior rooms. Cover the windows with anything you have. They react to movement. They react to light. I watched one of them dismantle a Victorian house over on Elm Street piece by piece. Just because a curtain moved in an upstairs window, it didn't use a laser. It just used these long metallic tendrils to peel the roof back like it was looking for a bug in a box. I'm gonna stay on as long as the power holds. I've got a couple of granola bars and a gallon of water left. I'll keep talking. I'll keep the frequency open. If you can find a way to signal, if you can find a way to reach out, do it. But be careful. The world is very small now, and it's getting smaller by the hour. We are the survivors of day 3, but the night is long and the hum is getting louder. I can hear it now coming from the west. It's closer than it was 10 minutes ago. The floorboards are starting to dance. This is Joe Henry, signing off for a moment to save my breath and the battery. If the signal cuts out, don't stop searching the dial. Someone, somewhere has to be left. We can't be the only ones left in the static. Just listen for the voice between the screams. I'll be here, I'm not going anywhere. There's nowhere left to go. Stay quiet. Stay hidden. And for God's sake, stay alive. I'll talk to you again. If the sun comes up, this is Joe Henry. Static and screams, folks. That's all we've got left. Static and screams.